What up? What up? What up?
Yo.
What
Dude, I was
up?
just saying how I haven't been on Twitter, and I go on Twitter, and it's this dude talking about how he lost all respect for Yuga.
Oh man.
Nice.
I'm like, hello, Twitter. Granted, I do feel bad for the guy. It was right when their little companion trait thing went down, and he bought one that he thought had a companion but didn't. Lost 2.5 ETH.
Hey, it is what it is. I think personally, we just need to wait and see what the team says. Like, I think that is the best course of action. I'm not saying that they didn't have. Obviously, they had a mistake, but I'm saying this might be. If you thought it was a companion, it's still going to have that companion. Like, I don't think we need to like sound the alarms that Yuga fucked us all and everyone had a companion trait. Now you bought one for 20 ETH and it has no companion. Like, I think we just need to like just wait till there's official information because that's always the best. Like, we can speculate, and I'm not saying that they didn't make a mistake. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I think like the severity of it, we have no clue. And it's like summoning day. Of course, there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of emotions, excitement, and then of course some people. Naturally, if you had a companion that's not showing up, you can be like, "What the fuck? Like, I paid for this, or I worked for this, I grinded for it, I toad moded my ass off." But like, I would just like wait and see what happens, because if by chance, let's say that actually did happen, Bryce went and bought a freaking power source and it said it had a companion, yes, and then it doesn't when it comes back, they'll do something. Like, there will be something that is done. I have no doubts.
For sure. Well, and that's where I saw Josh Ong had tweeted too, that you can always open up a ticket in their Discord, especially if you bought it before they tweeted that there was an error there. And I'm sure they will right their wrongs.
Of course. So it's just, again, just chill. They had a mistake. That happens. Let's be real. I'll take this mistake in getting a power source 10 times out of 10 rather than getting some whack ass shoes that don't even look like the digital versions.
Or that hat looked like trash too.
Like, let's just slow our roll just slightly. Okay. So I did not pay for a companion. Did you guys pay? I don't think you did. So companionless, but I'm still excited about I think I have 3 of the night versions, which I'm considering, and I'd love to get, maybe this is the first question. Thoughts on different varieties. Are you interested? I'm not necessarily saying going and getting the 20 ETH version, but are you interested in having like a spread of different ones, or do you not care?
I don't know. I don't really care at this point. The only thing I would personally look to buy, like, well, Bryce and I were talking about it. We were like thinking about buying one of the Reaver ones or whatever, but like you're effectively buying a mid rare at that point, and it's kind of like, is it worth buying the mid rare? Probably not. Especially since we don't really know what the end result is. We don't know, is this a PFP? We don't know, is this just like a little companion thing? Like, is it going to come out looking like a Meebit?
Is it literally just like skin?
It's a mech.
Right? That's like
30,000 mechs derived from these power sources.
Yeah, I mean, we know it's a mech, but I mean, like...
But right, like from the mock-up, it looks
how
like
do they display
the
that? Is that 2D? Is that 3D? Is it...
I mean, it's definitely... I mean, if you look at the little mock-up thing that they posted, like Gordon posted a day or two after Sewer Mode was released, I mean, I definitely think it'll be 3D. In my opinion, it looks like it's just going to be like, you know, that was the big seller of NFTs. It's like, oh, imagine you could trade over these Fortnite skins. They're going to be like, look, this is literally what we're talking about. Because it looks like, you know, your Bored Ape can enter into the mech suit. Your Mutant can enter into the mech suit. Like, I really think it'll just be a kind of skin that any character can, you know, do. And that's where I'm like,
right, but can they be standalone? Or, I mean, are you even entering it? Is it just like I know the dog looks like it's riding in the dog mecha version, but like maybe you don't even have to enter it. Maybe it's just something you like summon, you throw out there, and you're like, here's my mecha avatar running around, right? Like, so I guess no, but I mean, ultimately, what I'm trying to say is like, what is the final result? Are we going to be seeing people on Twitter running around as mechs as their PFPs when they're hopping on Twitter Spaces and shit posting?
Right.
Or is it going to be something that kind of just hangs out in your wallet? and you're like, yeah, this is my mech, and you won't really see it until it's got more utility and you use it in other side, etc.
I think it's definitely going to be more the second version, in my personal opinion. I think of it as a massive game asset because, I mean, they were even talking about in some of the, it was the post, and I can find it here in a second if one of you all don't. But it was when they were like, like the 2,500 that were never played at all, and they're like dead passes. Well, I think Yuga actually took them in to use them for future use, and the big thing, the wording there was, we need all the help we can get with this mech like war. So like to me that like screams it's a big time gaming asset. It's going to be part of their play to earn, or I don't know.
Wait, where was this at? I totally missed.
I don't think I saw that tweet.
1,000% is there. If you go to Bored Apes Twitter, I can pull it up if you don't get there before me. It was
like today it came out.
Yes.
The remaining bottom ranked power sources will be minted and held by Yuga.
You want to share that screen, Bryce?
Oh, it says the tweets are all unavailable.
Oh boy. Actually, I think they're shadow banned. I'm not even joking because I look to try to find them.
Here, let me try and share my screen real quick.
Yeah, I tried to just search them and I couldn't even open them up.
Because everyone's crying. Oh my god, my companion's not here yet. It's coming.
So this is what I see.
Yeah.
All these are, but just that tweet. I guess this is all the other ones that are now deleted.
There, right there. That's the one. That's the one. Cosmic war that looms in the distance will require as many mechs as we can get. So that to me is
dude, I'm usually on top of this stuff.
Like that to me is massive world game in
the
the
half the shit's all showing up as unavailable.
Dude, I'm telling you that somebody said that they were like shadow banned because it's probably people being little bitches. You know how Twitter is like, oh, that's super annoying, but that's probably what happened.
Oh, so we can obtain these extra power sources. Interesting.
Yeah, so I think like those will be, like gaming rewards, right? Like competition shit. Like that's gonna happen. And so like to me that I think that was a genius use of those passes that would have otherwise been just like null and void. Like why not take them back and give them out to people that win something, a competition, or maybe randomly or a little of both. And again, like that wording with the cosmic war, wherever the hell that tweet is. Yeah, but the cosmic war that looms in the distance requires many mechs as we can get. That to me is like, okay, so the mech is going to be imperative to whatever this game is that they've been working on with Animoca, right? Like that's what we think, right? It's got to be the one that they've teased forever ago, I think.
Well, yeah, that the 10KTF one.
The one that where the robots like and their arms ripped off.
The Enway game or whatever.
In our chat earlier today.
Oh boy! Hopefully, there's nothing about.
No, we did not.
Trashing other people.
That's all right. Well, I think I sent it. Well, right quick.
There it is.
No, I posted a link to the.
This.
Yeah, right. Isn't that crazy? Though? This was exactly a year ago from tomorrow, March 16th, 2022.
That is actually weird.
And today's the 15th, right? So this was exactly a year from tomorrow. If we had seen this photo and said, "Oh yeah, this will happen in a year," I think we all would have been like, "Fuck that! See you later."
I mean, but like a game a year later that we're getting this to then, like, I guess here's my next question. Do we think this is happening in the other side, this game?
For sure.
Okay, so then
maybe not necessarily. I mean, like it could be launched through other side, but I don't think it's like on an other side environment or whatever.
Okay. It's going to be connected to other side for sure.
So then you guess that this probably, because obviously we have the evolutions to happen, the evolves, and that'll stretch over the summer months. So we're thinking when other side goes live, maybe this is one of those things that goes shortly thereafter.
Potentially.
I mean, we've been waiting on this game for a while, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's been ready, but yeah, I could be wrong.
I think that's where it's one of those when other side is ready to go like fully online. They're gonna need games for people to play. It's not gonna be like, oh, here's a whole bunch of nothingness where you can, now you can start building your games.
Yep. I think this will be one of them. That's what I'm saying. And like if you look at the wording, this is developing. But like if they know that they're doing it on other side and that's what they're focused on, this Enway games, Like I fucking like that feels like it makes too much sense, right? Like other side goes live and then this is like boom, here we go. Because you got to think about it. They've been doing such a good job. We've talked about it a bunch of them just giving us information or games or a teaser or here we go. We got the power sources. Mechs are going to reveal in like a week or two. We got other side trip and next Saturday. Dude, there's so much happening that though that might feel like a long time from now, like let's say it's Q4, we get to play this game. You're gonna have so much shit to do between now and then that like cool. You know what I mean? Like that's my opinion.
Yeah, so I think what will be interesting to see is like, we already have 30,000 apes, right? We've got 10,000 bored apes, almost 20,000 mutant apes. And so it kind of seems like there will be the apes and then there will be the mechas. And the mechas will be kind of that more easier barrier of entry versus trying to, cough up a chunk of change for a mutant.
14th mutant.
Right. So it'll get you access to another playable character in this game, which is really affordable right now, comparatively speaking.
Yeah, here's the
and I think too, right? Like I'm thinking like many, many years down the line, this is like the OG.
What are you saying?
For like, if for any normie that wants to come in and buy one of these things that are achievable, like I still think even at 2.5 ETH, we don't know what it is, but it's going to be probably a beneficial buy. Just because it's going to have that, that OG aspect. If this truly is like a type of skin that we get to wear another side.
Yeah.
Like that, if you had the very first Fortnite skin that was released, like it's probably going to have some, carry some value down the line.
Yeah, I mean, so thinking about that, right? Considering that these will kind of, I guess, in a way, be the follow along collections from it was Bored Apes, Mutant Apes, then it was the slew of mechas, which I mean, that's technically all IP they've launched and given to their OG holders. I mean, you can kind of see where it goes from here, right? I mean, you reach another point, they reach another fork in the road. They develop more IP. They need to expand the ecosystem because suddenly 60,000 just isn't enough.
Yeah.
And then it just unfolds another layer, right? And so it's excuse me, it's exciting as an ape owner to like be like, oh, cool, like you're gonna have beneficial things that come up along the way that also help bring more people into the ecosystem. What I think will be interesting though is like, yes, there's benefits to owning premium mutants, but they don't really translate to higher premium of like membership, right? So like if you own a top tier mutant, it's the same thing as just owning a crazy eyes on the floor mutant or whatever. So it would be interesting if like these gave you some sort of beneficial stats on the mechs. Like if you had higher stats for higher rankings, like it would definitely feel like the output is more rewarded. And then honestly, I would feel super down bad for not paying somebody for, boosting my passes. Cause like, I don't know if y'all seen like Cyrus's tweets, but he had a slew of top ranking passes and he racked in a couple of those hollows. So it seems like that would have been a pretty good play if you could have gotten in the top 100. So I don't know.
Interesting for sure. And obviously a variety there. The hollows were selling. I saw there was a bunch that sold right around 20 ETH about probably like an hour ago or so, which is pretty nutty if we're being honest. We talked about this a bunch. And I think this is exactly what we figured would play out, how they broke up the variety, right? Like the one of one got the one of one power source, of course. And then it was like 2 to 250, 250 to 1,000. Like this is exactly what we've been talking about forever. Because again, it like makes the most sense. You weren't going to go through and be like, oh, Will collected all of these motherfucking pieces of power source, and this is what he gets. It's gonna be some puzzle piece. Like that would have been maddening. This made sense. And then it's like, man, if you were on that like borderline of like if you're like if you're like one off from getting up a tier, like that would just be like a kick in the nuts.
I actually just had to go check mine because I was at 6,500 and I was like, if 6,501 is the worst tier, I got super lucky, but no, it's not.
Well, I was gonna say, like, talk about a kick in the nuts. I mean, I feel like my score didn't do anything currently in terms of like value driven.
Well, right,
it's like the base passes are like the base mechs are selling for 2.5, and I think I got a knight, so I got like rank 6,000 something.
Which
and
are
it's like 2.7. So it's like, oh, wow, go create like either those are super undervalued right now. Because what's the next one's above that? I think the next one above that is Celestial.
Celestial.
Yeah, so that's a huge jump up to 4.16.
Bryce, what was the highest or the worst ranking you could get to get a Celestial? Do you have that in front of you by chance?
Celestial was 4,250.
That was the worst you could have gotten.
That was the worst. If you got 4,251, you got a knight.
No, that would have been like tough. And again, like it is hard to know, right? Like we're talking about right now. Like, is this a skin? Is it a, do you have better stats as you play whatever this game is? The higher you get, I don't know.
If I had to just
wasted a lot of ape. That's what I did.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. I definitely spent more than 0.2 ape, 0.2 ETH worth of ape coin trying to get a higher score, but that was a misstep on my part, I guess.
Paid somebody 3.
If I had to guess, though, right now, if you take a look at like the Ranga black boxes, you know how they have like some of the different ones where it's like they have different types, and there's like some boxes that have ones with like double agent or whatever, or samurai or something like that. I feel like to some extent, it's almost like we're just staring at a Ranga black box, but it's the mech. And we're going to just get to open up. Like, I don't know if we would like eventually get to smash these boxes and open up our mechs or, spawn our mechs or whatever. But it definitely feels like each of those, like we're currently just looking at the skin trait of like if you were to compare it to the Bored Apes, right? So like obviously the hollows are going to be, like the trippy apes kind of equivalent.
Seems like it's kind of doing what like Meme Land is kind of doing too, where it's the reveal but in different stages, right? It's not just, oh yeah, here's our big reveal, like this is your mech. Now it's like, okay, you now know the the type of mech it is, and then during the next evolution we might find out some other rare trait that'll then separate all these even more.
And like, to be completely honest, like I find this reveal mechanism, like I find it extremely frustrating, just because like it takes a long ass time to get from point A to point B, but like from benefiting the collection, like the creators, like Yuga is making so much off of secondaries,
dude, right? Like
Sewer Pass original drop to then having the companion traits added to then having it switch over to these boxes. And so like in some really annoying way, like this roundabout way of going about it, like essentially just reignites like that whole kind of like speculation aspect.
Right.
And so I mean, it's fantastic for Yuga, but
right, yeah. I mean,
if you're just a holder and you're just chilling, you're like, all right, clock's ticking. Like, when are we gonna get something that's like actually?
But again, I think yes, I understand completely. I understand the annoyance of it, but it also keeps us on the edge of our seat. If they're able to deliver like the game mechanic with Dookie Dash, obviously this and waiting till mech reveal, that feels a little bit more of like the drawn out what you're talking about, Will, because it's like we know what we have for the power source, and now we're just sitting here for like, it says late March, so we're thinking within the next 2 weeks, obviously. Okay, but what if it's 2 weeks? Like, dude, nothing's gonna change, right? We're just sitting here and waiting, unless maybe they have some information or a graphic. I kind of doubt it. And you talk about secondary or total volume. sewer passes 45,000 ETH. Like, that's fucking crazy. That's completely absurd if we're being honest. And then they already have what, like 2,000 or something? I don't know, a lot. 25, maybe 3,000 total ETH.
Yeah, they have 2,500 ETH on the heavy metals.
Yeah, already, right? And those came out.
Which that definitely wouldn't have happened tonight if we were still just chilling as sewer passes.
No.
Right.
So again, it's like good for the brand, and I understand completely, and 1,000% gamified and FOMO inducing. All of those things are true. I'm hoping it's not just we sit here and wait. I hope they do, even if it's something silly, even if it's just a little another graphic from Gary, or if it's you had the little comic, the comic trailer thing that they showed today. That was cool. I thought that was neat or kind of dope. It was short, but again, it's something, at least something that's entertainment value. I think that's important if you're just gonna have to sit here and wait.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I do. I mean, I definitely like where we're going with all this. Like the whole build the story, kind of take us along for this journey, like make it more interactive. Like it's definitely like a positive. But at the same time, yeah.
Again, don't get me wrong. Like this part right now, from this to revealing mechs, that feels. I'm saying this not in a negative sense. I love freaking Yuga with my heart, my soul, but it feels like an absolute time waster. Like it feels like one that we're just wasting time, which is fine, by the way.
Well, yeah, right.
Like,
so,
okay with that.
Okay, so I think my original thought that totally got derailed that I blanked on. I like the building and how we're going through it. I'll be more excited to see like a different game style mechanic played out in the next evolutions.
Yeah.
Because I feel like by the time Toad mode came around, it was like, okay, I tried at Toad mode and it was like pretty clear that I wasn't going to like have any sort of chance to win Toad mode. So then it was just kind of like, okay, like I'm clearly not good at this game style.
Right.
So then that extra, like, okay, now we have another week of Toad mode and whatever. Like that part just felt like it kind of dragged on just a little bit too long. Where it was like, if it was like, I mean, and anyways, Toad mode was reactive to the current first part of the competition, anyways. So. But it is what it is. No complaints overall. But I do think if we can get like a different game coming in, which we already know we're going to get, different game styles, if you got that glitchy reactiveness, like you're not going to necessarily win the next games. And I think that will hopefully, spice it up, make it, a little more interesting. And then we're going to continue to just trade these things back and forth, which we can talk about trading these in a second because I got something else to talk about. I'm going to stop talking for a second.
Dude, but like, what if, Bryce, Will, myself, and any other crew that we want to get together, what if the next evolution really is like more like strategy-based gaming? Like that could be really fucking dope, right? Where like we would be happy that it's 2 weeks long or 3 weeks long. So I think if they're able to hit the mark where it's different stylistic things and gaming related, I think that will be good because in essence, aren't they also kind of showing like these are all the different types of things we can do in the other side as well?
It'd be kind of sick if they made one of the games like you have to form a team or some shit.
That would be dope.
That'd be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, it'd be like Orangey, Mongrel, and all those guys all in one team, and it'd be like, all right, never mind. But
would still be something that's interesting though with the transition to the heavy metal collection is they've changed their contract so that previously they like went into the sewer pass contract and made it so that Blur was completely blocked from trading.
Right.
We actually now have the heavy metal contract, which is not a homebrewed contract, was what someone explained to me. It was for the other one, for the sewer pass, was homebrewed. It specifically blocked Blur. This one is the general OpenSea registry where they have gone in and unblocked Blur, which allows for full royalty enforcement, trading on OpenSea and Blur. But with that, we have just a shit pile of bids stacking up on the floor of these heavy metal boxes. So It's interesting. We're going to see a lot more volume continue on these collections, but just because it's on Blur doesn't mean it's going to get pump and dumped to death, because there is a full 5% royalty trading on both Blur and OpenSea.
Which is a really good move by Yuga, right? Because by excluding Blur, Blur found the workaround, and you could do the 0.5% or whatever. But now with all these bids stacked up on Blur, there's going to be a lot more trading volume there. So it probably really is a pro for Yuga.
Also, like, OpenSea is kind of playing the Blur game anyways, right? So like at this point, it doesn't make any sense, I don't think, to block one and not the other. Like, where are you going to trade your assets, basically? Speaking of
interestingly,
trading,
though,
can you accept bids?
Say it.
Somebody said you can't accept bids though on Blur.
You should be able to now.
Was it a time mechanism or something?
Yeah, within the first hour of a new collection coming live, you can't accept a bid on Blur. Okay. And so I'm looking at a transaction where somebody dropped about 2, 4, 6, 8. They had about 15 heavy metals that they dropped for 2.46 ETH a piece. And so just to take a look at that, 2.46 ETH, where did it go? Well, what am I looking at? Oh, I clicked the wrong one, sorry. I'm trying to find how much they paid in royalties. So yeah, I mean, they sold quite a few. And they paid 0.123 ETH in royalties per box. So that's what, 0.123 out of 2.46, a clean 5% royalties across all of them. So yeah, Yuga's going to rack in big time on this trading that's going on right now.
I mean, yeah, tonight alone, they've already gotten 131 ETH.
Again, it's just like, you just think about it. It's like, man, Yuga just got like the whole crew behind, aka the money, just ready to, hey, what do we want to do? What dope shit do we want to create? How do we want to up the ante? Do we need another team member to take us to another level? Let's fucking do it. Because it's just, man, guys, we've gotten to the point, it's like past comparison. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've passed that so far that, like, who are you? Like, you can't even compare them to any other collection currently. And that's not like, I'm not even trying to slam any collection at all. It's just gotten to the point that it's just to such a level that anytime they drop anything, they just make a freaking enormous bag. And a lot of these collections that might be doing some dope shit, by the way, that are maybe like smaller or mid-tier projects, man, they could
just don't have the fun.
They'll never.
Hey, it ain't gonna amount to anything at that point, because
right, any other collection releasing today and forcing 5% royalty, like, they're not doing 2,600 ETH in volume in 2 hours.
No, dude. And that's like, just to like think about that, take ourselves out of even being in Bored Ape. Like, that fact is absurd. Like, it's absurd, actually. Because we've gotten to this point. It wasn't always that way, right? Like, you could drop a collection, boom, you're freaking having secondaries going buck wild, boom, boom, boom. You might even suck. Your team might rug a week later, but you're able to like rack up that secondary. Now it's a lot harder, which is not a bad thing, by the way. We're trying to make them up the ante. And I think we are seeing from some teams that have made a lot of fucking money, well, they ain't doing shit either. So, like, let's see something. Show me something. You know what I mean? I want to jump to Will, unless you got enough different thought, Bryce or Will, on your trading or buying of these. And we also have a good question from YouTube. What do we think about companion floor price prediction? I will be really honest with you, Delph. They're way above what I thought they'd be already. Like, I'm not even joking. That's no hate. Apparently I'm a fucking idiot for not paying 1 ETH for getting a companion. That's how I'm feeling today. I'm surprised that they're as high as they are.
The weird thing is like, realistically, it's a cosmetic, is more than likely what it is. So obviously those carry like if I had to think about something that I would relate to that too, it's like if you look at the Azuki collection and they have like the specials where it's like the fireball and the fireflies and they have like a bunch of like different like special backgrounds or whatever. I think that will probably be kind of like what the companion trait will get wrapped into. Like obviously they're going to be desirable. People are going to want them. But the weird thing is like you can buy a hollow with a companion for like not nearly as much above the hollow floor as you can for like the companion floor itself. So like people are valuing, in my opinion, they're valuing the companions on the lower tier cubes far too high. And if you're trying to I mean, I don't know. I tried to value these earlier, tried to take a look at them, figure out what made sense, where there might be support, and like where I would maybe want to try and throw some ETH, and like I couldn't really wrap my head around a good solid idea as to like how to play these, because it's like I mean, there's still so much to come. I think personally, the best bet is, instead of trying to take a stab at like something that's potentially undervalued right now, is to probably just let it fizzle for a little bit, let the volume die down, let people get tired, and then buyers, you'll get the buyer exhaustion, and then the sellers will just start to list lower and lower and lower because they can't get their sales. So
yeah, I'd agree there with the current companion floor being like 2x the floor. I'm like, your best bet's probably just to buy 2 floors, assuming it were to stay that way, but
or just to wait, right?
Yeah,
like
wait for sure.
I mean, 2.5 ETH floor. Do we think we hold this for the next week, or do we think we
I mean,
trail off
like sewer passes earlier this week were at 2.8. So like, this announcement, they've definitely pulled back some. Do they go much lower? I don't know.
I think they're going to be right around here, personally.
Yeah, I think so too. Especially with kind of blur liquidity and stuff too. There's a shit ton of bids at 2.4.
Yeah. I think you could see a dip. Remember when sewer passes, we first got them, they went, 1.8 or something like that? Maybe even lower than that. I think you could see a dip maybe the next 24 hours or so. But I think there's just
that 5%. That 5% is going to burn a lot of people, though. They're going to walk in thinking that they can bid it like normal for all the other blur farming, and they only have to take a 0.005% or 0.05%.
Yeah,
0.5.
0.5%.
0.5. Thank you. I'm like
0.00005.
I'm saying it as a decimal instead of a fraction. My bad. Anyways,
the maths be mathing.
The maths be mathing. I think ultimately 5% is definitely hefty for blur farming. So I think we get maybe 2 or 3 days of real solid blur farming until people kind of are like, ooh, ouch, like I'm getting burned trying to farm the floor. And then ultimately, I don't know. I mean, it's a 30,000 piece collection, right? That is massive. I don't know. I don't know where we find support, but maybe it's at 2.4 and we just never go back. But
yeah,
I think until, I mean, we've got some time before the next Evo, right?
Yes.
We don't have a date on that yet, right?
No.
The
Evo is
early April.
Begins May.
Oh, no, May.
Because early April as it came through the rift, but isn't that kind of isn't that in the obelisk, something with the rift or some shit?
Wait a second.
I thought
we had that
term.
So late March, mech types revealed.
Yeah,
and we have Legend of the Mara coming up.
Yes.
Wait a dang second. I thought we just had the mech types revealed.
No, we know what type they are, but I guess we don't have the reveal of them. This is what we're kind of talking about. If we have to wait a week or two, which I mean we're gonna have to, it'll probably be next week or the week after.
Yep.
That I guess we actually get to see the physical character for these mechs.
Which I think that'll be bullish as fuck if I'm being honest with you.
Like, especially if they look anything remotely close to the sketches, but with color and that kind of detail, they look pretty sick.
Like Rift.
Okay. Okay. So we will get the little toad-looking bot thing.
Yeah.
Probably within the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
I would put money on it that by next Wednesday.
Yep.
The 29th is potentially when we could see these things. And so that means we're going to have okay, interesting. Okay. We're going to have maybe something from 10KTF tomorrow. But then there was some kind of talk about, the last week of winter was this week. So maybe we don't see anything from 10KTF until the 23rd. And then we kind of have a weird packed March where it's the 23rd, then the 25th is the other side, second trip. And then 29th could be mech type reveals. But then the Evo 1 reveal. What the heck?
Yeah. What?
I don't get what's the difference between mech types revealed and then Evo 1 revealed.
Can we just talk slightly, because we are, going back and forth of what that looks like specifically for these power sources, and I just, where the fuck is that? Oh, son of a bitch. There it is. No. Here we go. This, because the rift is in the power sources thing, and then obviously the same term here, the rift. And I know this is at the bottom. I understand that completely. But dude, there's the tie-in. Like they're not like that word is very specific, right? And so when you say on the sewer pass roadmap, it came through the rift, and then on the bottom of the obelisk it says the rift. Like we're gonna learn more about this, right? Like,
yeah, it's time to fully explore.
So I feel like in some sense, right, we're learning a bit about the story before this point, right? Like
storyline is what I'm talking, but I just find it like the tie-in directly, the verbiage is identical.
Yeah.
So like,
they could
I think
any other word
ultimately
there, but
so
I would not be disappointed if they decided they wanted to come back in a couple of years and make the full Bored Ape Yacht Club the movie or something. And it has like other side to Bored Ape to whatever. Like
would be badass.
the animated comic is cool, but let's get a movie.
I think you could see it. I think you could definitely see it. And
with
so
that
like
same quality as the
yes,
the other side trailer.
Isn't that like it came to the rift? Doesn't it feel like that could be
the rift,
like that video thing, like that kind of quality of like when the Coda was running around and shit?
It's so funny.
Love that.
We're gonna look back in 2 years and be like, "Oh my gosh, they even told us this like a year before they released it. We just didn't know."
Yeah, for sure.
There's gonna be so many.
Well, that's what everyone was saying when they were like looking at that picture of the game, and they were like, even the companion was there with the little squid in his shoulder or something like that. I mean,
what if the companion does fix the fucking mech? What if that's what it does? Then the companion would feel like more of a play. What if it's like,
well, if you give a utility to the companion that makes it worth owning, then okay, we have something to talk about here. But
not something to talk about.
kind of what it looks like it's doing in there. I know I'm just fucking reading a picture and making a story here, but it looks like the squid's trying to fucking fix that dude up.
Sounds about right.
So you're talking about, are you interested in trading these or not, Will? Or you just
I'm not touching them right now.
Yeah.
I think I sold some of my passes before we even got to this point. Actually, all of them except for my one.
And my one.
I don't know.
And looking back, like with our ranking, it was like, oh, we could have gotten 6 ETH for it, and they're now worth 2.9. But
should have gotten the 6 ETH when we could have gotten 6 ETH. But that's cool.
We're going back to 6 ETH. Just wait, boys. We're going back to 6 ETH.
I mean, but the problem is my night box is not getting me jack shit. So
how do you know, bro?
Well, I'm sitting right above the floor. 0.2.
I
mean, it's going to be the long shot, but you never know.
You got to wait till we see what it does.
Reavers were at like 8.2, and now they're at 9.6.
Fuck. People are like, they do look badass.
They do look badass. The red and black combo, like it's just.
Here's a quick question. It's not a question, but he says, I want more ApeCoin. What's our thoughts on ApeCoin? Like, what's our taking the temperature of how you feel about it? What are we thinking?
Dude, it's been a minute since my ApeCoin bag has been this much in the red, in pain. You know, it's fantastic to get staking rewards, but like currently the ape ratio is just like bleeding and it hurts my eyes to look at the chart.
Yeah, definitely sucks. We have the big unlock coming in a couple days, I think, which, low price is good for those people unlocking. Just means that their airdrop is worth less at the time, so less taxes for them. So GG to those people. Hoping with all the sinks coming up that, we may start trending upwards and time that with a bull market and it's game on.
I mean, that was going to be my point. Like, how would it go up right now? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, the sinks. But even then, like, I don't know if one or two little sinks like Dookie Dash wasn't really enough of a sink to cause some movement.
I think the main thing that kind of like lined up there was that everyone was excited that we had a utility for the token. Mm-hmm. And then from that, right, we had a couple days of like people needed to buy the token, and then a couple more people realized that they wanted to start staking. And so like just looking at the ApeCoin in the pool currently, I'll go ahead and refresh it real quick just to make sure I'm saying something that's
because we were at like 100 million, right? Is it significant?
Yeah, so we were at 100 million, but we're at now 115 million, and we've almost kind of stalled out here. We've hit 115 million. I think this is the fourth time now, and we've dipped down to 114 a couple times, and then we kind of just bounce up and down and up and down and up and down. Essentially, there's a couple people that like will like sell a big portion of their ApeCoin. They'll be like, I'm out of ape, and then they'll be like, okay, I'm back in ape, and I'm fully staked again for 5 minutes, and they'll be like, all right, I'm fully out, and I'm like, ooh, y'all making my head spin. But that can definitely be a decent way to stack up some ApeCoin because
Roy Lodge has been fucking killing the game there.
Dude, he really has.
Selling the top, buying the bottom, dumping again.
I sold on the ape ratio, I sold the exact top. I sold 15% 15% of my bag at the exact top. And it can get me a significant amount of ape now, which is just kind of funny.
You did sell 15%, or you should have sold 15%?
No, I did sell 15%, but I should have sold a larger percentage.
So
is essentially what I'm saying. My profit taking was mid.
Anthony talking about Wagme Sun sinking coming. That's another small one, which is great. I think what would be really dope, I'm not expecting this, but it'd be cool, is after the second trip and after the Legends of Mara, we get some information on like any information on what resources even do. You know, like literally anything about other side, I think would help slowly people start realizing the value of ape. Would you agree?
I mean, I don't. The way that I think about it is like the value of ape today is not going to be the value of ape tomorrow, simply because we are still in our little bubble.
Yeah.
Right. ApeCoin currently is very, very niche, and there's a handful of people that have heard about it. The mainstream has had like a mild dose of exposure to it when they heard about, the apes got a whole bunch of that token. Congrats for those dudes. They literally, keep getting everything. Well, like, okay, well, you own the ape. But I think like it's kind of irrelevant to kind of talk about what the price of ApeCoin is today, because it's like, if other side does what it sets out to do and it builds an economy and it builds, something that's actually worth using, then it's not even going to be in the question. It's going to be like, oh, we were sitting there talking about ape ping pong between $5 and $6, and all we do is wish we had bought a whole bunch at $8 before it ripped to whatever, right? Like, so it's like it's to me, it's like I don't even want to really think about selling my bag until it's way more mainstream.
For sure.
It's like a ranked 40 token right now in coin market cap. So it's like,
what's the ceiling for it? And your just complete guess opinion. I'm talking like even in just. Let me back up. What would be your realistic utopian price point? Let's say 2 years from now. Is that long enough?
Realistic and utopian, man. Those don't go
Yeah,
together.
Well, if I say utopian, you're gonna say $420.69.
I'm thinking like $100.
Man, that would be fucking absurd.
I think that's absurd, but the thing you got to think about, right, is if you build an economy that is moving, right, it's got ApeCoin flowing in and out in different portions, and so like you have these token sinks, and then Yuga has to turn around and give the token back into the economy in some other form, usually by just selling it on the market. I mean, you could end up in a point where it's like, okay, how, like, if you have a lot of users of like people daily playing this game, like how much token do they hold, right? So then it's like, okay, you take that amount of token divided by how many tokens there are, and it's like,
Well, you could also think too, say somebody, comes up with a game that's extremely popular and they're just like, fuck it, we're not selling our tokens. Right? Like we're not gonna, have to sell it back to the community. We're just gonna hold this shit. And it's one of those floppy bird type games that just everybody rushes to.
so
That
that brings me to a different tangent, because I saw that Flappy Coda thing, and it's like, if you can create, did you see that?
I saw a Coda with the jetpack.
Yeah, like called like Floppy Coda or something like that.
I don't know.
There was someone that created a essentially Flappy Bird, but using a Coda as like some way to get a mint or something from some other project. Um, but it would be interesting, right? If you have a creator come in and instead of like, those really early App Store games, if they just come in and they make a game that's like really early on other side and it's just like wildly popular. I mean, imagine the effect of a couple of viral silly games like Candy Crush used to be silly,
Yeah.
right? Like,
You know how much money Candy Crush makes though? Still, even to this day, a ridiculous amount of money. Right? Like all you need is like 4 or 5 games that everybody wants to play.
4 or 5 viral games where people just want to play, right? And then it's like you roll up and people are like, "Oh, I'll throw a few bucks at this, whatever."
Well, like
you
how I
download a
like,
99-cent game from the App Store. But imagine you sell the game, right? Like for, 1 ape or something stupid, right? Where it's like, okay, if you have 10 million people buy the game for 1 ape coin, like that's a lot of freaking ape coin, right? Like,
granted, we have to get to a point where, we have 10 million people on the other side. And it's
but how many people are on
I know, but the big thing is like Fortnite. integrating them into the other side, right? Like,
yeah, but I mean, Fortnite didn't grow from 0 to 1 million in like overnight, right? I mean, like it started out, it was fast. So it's like if there's potential, if there's enough staying power, then yeah, it could be really fast.
And I do believe that Yuga, when it's ready to go, like they're gonna have all these partners they're gonna be pushing. Like Bryce, you said, they're not gonna just open it up and be like, I just fucking nothing to do here, but you're here. Congrats. Got an empty parking lot over here. There's going to be some shit to rock right away. And obviously people will be building as well. And then when they're really ready to get people there, man, they have so much capital that they'll be able to bring in whoever to talk about it, try it, come in and host an event. Like think of anything they could do. Because it is a platform. Anthony, you're right. It's more than a game. It's a platform. For sure. It is a platform, 100%. And so, like, when they're ready to go and have things to do, imagine anyone and anything, if they want to do it, and they have the connections too. That's the thing that people, like, maybe we forget sometimes. Man, they have a massive bag. They also have a shit ton of really good freaking connections in, like, every fucking field. Like, legitimately every field. So if you want an awesome banger musician to come and throw a big ass, party and be the headliner, congratulations, Guy Osiri. Hey, let's go get boom, 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 boom. These 5 freaking artists. Let's go. Oh, you want some games? Animoca and friends. Oh, cool, awesome. Thanks for dropping those 6 games you've already created. You know what I mean? It's like tech, like A16Z. We need some help with this, that, and the other. Oh, here we go. Boom. Like they have every fucking they have tentacles everywhere that I know it still takes belief. Like 100%. They still have a lot of work to do and they will continue to have tons of work to do. But man, I agree. I'm bullish on them because they got
the firepower.
They have the all-star fucking lineup and capital to boot. It's like, man, if you can't get something going here, that's tough.
They'd have to really fumble the bag.
Yes.
Like really fumble it. And then I'm thinking like Dr. Disrespect on Twitter talking about, the power of blockchain gaming and how he's extremely bullish on it. Like wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if you guys like, yo, we'll like pay you to also create a game with us on the other side. And then next thing you know, he's streaming it to his, 3 million Twitch subscribers and it's GG.
That's the thing. Relationships, man.
Yeah. I think when you look at like the rollout of the Other Side Mint or the ApeCoin launch, and it's like you kind of reach that point where it all comes together, and then it's like they just start firing off information, and it was like it reached that point where it was like, oh, I'm getting hit with like a fire hose of information. Like you can't keep up with it. It's moving so quick. It's like when they, finally reach that point, because they're good at creating those kind of like moments, right? Where it's just like, holy crap, like here we go. I think what they'll probably end up doing is with the launch of Other Side, there will probably be a day that will come when it'll just feel like a rocket ship. And it's like, holy crap, like what is happening? And then it's like when the tide shifts, the tide's going to shift, and then it's going to be, it'll either stick or it doesn't stick. But they know that the major issue that they're going to run into is that, okay, I'm on the other side. Now what? Right? Like they've already addressed that. They've mentioned in the first trip, they were like, we need to, give you more reasons why not to leave, essentially. You need to know what to do next. Like you rolled up and you clicked the link and you loaded into, a certain plot of land and watched a concert.
Yeah. Because
it was your favorite creator and they just were doing an improv concert or something like that on a certain land. Then it's like, okay, well, now that I'm here, what do I do next? And they already know that that's the question they have to answer. So,
and it is a lot. It's 1,000% a lot, but I'm going to bet on a fucking dope ass team. Start with 4 homies that just wanted to pay back their moms. And now we're talking 140, I think some odd employees for Yuga and like another, 80, 100 on Improbable probably. So you're talking 240 to 50 mofos that are just freaking face melting, ready to go. Like, I feel pretty damn good about that. Doesn't mean it's a shoe-in. It's not a tap input by any means, but we're feeling pretty good.
And just their execution with Dookie Dash, right? Like it's proven that they can release something that will generate revenue and show that they, is a little taste test.
Yep.
Very exciting stuff ahead.
What else we got? 10KTF. I saw you may or may not have seen this. Might have been in one of the large chats we're in. People speculating that, and I know that 10KTF and speculation, man, it's like peanut butter and jelly because motherfuckers talk all kinds of crazy shit. But this was a new one for me. 10KTF G tags, and I know again G tags, man, they've had tons of speculation too. We all know that very clearly that they would be and I quote, anime PFP for Yuga.
Do it.
Thoughts if they did that, just rip like they're ripping off the top.
Probably.
I would prefer them be a Beeple PFP.
That would be even sicker.
Okay, when you say Beeple, are you talking like the absurdity of it all? Like all types
not all the penises and all that sort of shit, but like Beeple art.
Send Beeple NFT, bro. Let's go.
You minted a rare Sam Bankman-Fried fucking Caroline.
You're like, PFP. Wow, I minted a rare dickhead. You're like, huh?
That old, like when he made SPF Naked or whatever. Oh God, it's my new PFP. I mean, that would break the internet.
You're just talking about his style. You want him to be the person that has created them.
Look, all I'm saying is people's on 10KTF team.
I understand.
I mean, so this is where it would make sense in my mind. Is like, I don't see Beeple going out starting his own PFP collection and then like having to provide a shit ton of value for it and everything to make his holders happy and whatnot.
Did you say this or did
we literally talked about this yesterday and we both said it because I'm the one. Anyhow, Beeple can create this PFP for 10KTF, and guess what? Like, he doesn't have to be the one to provide all this value for it. Like, that's on the whole 10KTF team to do that sort of thing.
Yeah. I could see it for sure. I'm just curious on like what would the style be, because you know you're talking about New Tokyo. Do they go anime? That's kind of been sort of the theme, sort of ish. Obviously, they've included a lot of PFPs that are already, you know, like out there, like Toads, and they've talked. Gutter Cat Gang was even in New Tokyo, spray paint some shit. So like, I guess that's my question: is if it's a PFP, which man, it feels like it. That makes a lot of sense to me that G-Tags would be. I'm just curious on like what kind of character is that? Is that a human character? Is that, I mean, I don't know. Like that's where I get stuck.
I don't know. All I know is that it's another low entry into the Yugi ecosystem.
Agreed.
Right, which is kind of what Will was talking about earlier, is how, you know, you have the apes and mutants, and those are the top of the top, and now you need some lower entry. And you can go scoop a G-Tag right now for less than an ETH. So,
and when you get into the Yuga ecosystem, just know that those of us that have bored apes and are really ready for awesome community, we love that you're here. Like, one of the best and most exciting parts for me throughout the sewer pass is two of my homies that have never been into Yuga ecosystem. They both now have power source, and they have another deed now. And so, like, to me, that's what we want. Is we want to be able to branch out. We want to be able to bring other communities, other builders in, because we want the Yuga ecosystem as a whole to be, again, like the all-star team. And how do you get the all-star team? You get everybody buying in at some price point. That doesn't mean everyone's going to rock a board ape. That's not it at all. But if you have a mech, you got a Gucci Grail, you got a 10KT, whatever it may be, G-Tag, you're part of the Yuga ecosystem. And that to me is insanely bullish, is that I feel like you're seeing more and more of these people that have been like fucking whatever, Horny Wolves NFT. That's not one. That's why maybe it is. I hope it's not. Horny Wolves NFT Maxi. Now you're seeing them like talk about 10KTF or the sewer pass. Hey, I got my sewer pass, my first exposure to Yuga, and then they start rocking a picture of it or whatever it may be. Like, that's bullish because you're seeing people understand. Oh my!
I thought this was a joke.
Dude, I tried to say something that wasn't real.
It exists and it's interesting.
Apparently, there is a Horny Wolves NFT. Shout out to the Horny Wolves crew. But again, my point is that it's really cool to hear them talk about like they're happy to be in the Yuga ecosystem, because we are too, right? Like, if you have somebody that's really like a builder, creative, or content person, you know, or host spaces or anything, if they're part of Yuga and they start to enjoy the experience, that is, again, massively bullish for all of Yuga.
100%.
You know, on top of that, right, it's like Yuga doesn't have to go out and prove themselves, you know, as a team. They've already done that multiple times over, right? So it's like you're not having to take a random gamble on a new team to execute, right? It's like as soon as you see a team executing and you like the results, it's like it shouldn't be a question whether or not you should get some exposure to them, right? Like, so like if you look at like everything that's happened, what has happened with Moonbirds, Doodles, clones? Doodles, people didn't like the execution from the team. Clones, people didn't like the execution from the team. Moonbirds, people didn't like the execution from the team. And so all of those have trended down. Meanwhile, Azuki, a community built like something else, I mean, has kept it together, and they've decided, hey, we actually do like the execution from the team. They came together, put together the skateboard sale. They put together, some profile updates, some tech. They dropped some cool hoodies and whatever, little things. But like that was enough to get the team, the community rallied together to say like, okay, you haven't, we're going to put past some of our previous takes and let that go in the back burner and kind of like see what can happen. But like, there was some weird expectation around Chinese New Year that there was going to be something coming from Azuki because that was also around their 1 year anniversary. And so there was some people that were like,
a red packet airdrop would have been sick.
Yeah, but so, I mean, you had some people that were disappointed that they didn't deliver anything then, but it's like, okay, well, let's see what comes from them next, right? At this point in time, them not saying anything has actually worked in their favor, whereas everyone that thought they needed to be saying something ends up saying entirely the wrong things, right? Where it's like people bashed Doodles for, a while for not saying anything, and now they come out and they're like, hey, collect all of our socks and you can get the golden socks, and people are like, shut up, right? Like,
bro.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Azuki's taking a very similar approach to Bored Ape Yacht Club in the sense that I feel like we went months without hearing anything from the club except for retweets of merch.
Yep. Agreed. And I like this tweet right here. It's a Yuga's NFT market, and we're all just living it. Look at that.
I mean, honestly, though, when you talk about market domination, like, sheesh.
Wild.
Like what? That's
apes are down the last couple of days, so I'm not too happy about it. But yeah, for the most part, Yuga market.
Again, I bought this goddamn ape at $275 or whatever the hell it was. That could go to zero, and I still feel like I got a big fucking massive W because I did take some profit, right?
Definitely don't want it to go to zero.
I didn't say I wanted it to. I'm saying it could, and I'd be like, well, at least I took some profit. So again, like I'm not looking to sell my. I will at some point. By the way, my second ape at some point, I will sell it, but I'm not
$1 million.
I'm not selling it at this price because I do believe even if it's 150K is the floor or something in a year, I'd rather do it. I just think it will go up, and I could be fucking wrong. I don't know. I could be dead ass wrong, but I'll hold the second one for now.
I hope you're not wrong. I hope we go.
The weird thing though is, right, it's like I'm pretty sure you would agree, Phil. Like there's no way you're gonna see me sell the like be down to 1/8 and be like, okay, I'm gonna sell it.
No.
At this point, it's like, why would you just hold it for the mystery and the surprise? Because like clearly the roller coaster ride is definitely worth riding.
That's the thing is like, dude, this is like really legitimately the sewer passes is like a pretty like, it's one piece of their fucking roadmap from like a year and a half ago, right? Like it's one fucking piece. And like we haven't even talked about the in real life clubhouse. Like imagine when that shit starts hitting, it's like, hey homies, you get this for having a board ape, whatever that is. Who freaking knows? And there's other shit that's gonna come. They said it in that freaking roadmap. It's like all these other things that we don't want to say because we know someone's gonna front run us. Like, There's no way I would have 0 board apes. I just couldn't.
I could if it made sense, but
it looks like the companion traits have been
million.
Yeah.
It looks like the companion traits have been flicked back on for the.
Oh really?
Yeah. So Bryce and I was watching these earlier. They were getting gobbled up at 4 something ETH, and the floor is now definitely at a nice, pretty 6.5.
Fuck.
Gobble gobble.
Oh man, that's.
But you can just waltz into a hollow with a companion for 22. I mean,
oh okay,
steal of a century right there. Apparently, that is the floor on hollows too, which is just
steal of a century.
Yeah, I'll just wait and see what happens. Let's see. Did you look at the activity? Motherfuckers are. Wait, is this for?
Dude, the activity is wild. That is for sure.
Dude, look at the activity though. Before it was flipped on, some people got them for 3 ETH, dog.
I really want to flip this.
Wait,
thing.
What are you talking about?
Companion. Click on companion, go to activity, and scroll down. Do you see what I'm seeing? Am I fucking crazy?
Are you on OpenSea or Blur?
I'm on OpenSea. You know that
He's on that ancient technology. I mean, something else, dude.
I'm never on fucking Blur.
This is the real King's Alpha right here. Hold on.
I'm just saying, I think some motherfuckers got lucky or something and like literally got one for free.
All I'm saying, right, is you got these bad boys. These what are they? The Reavers.
Those were 80th at the start of this show.
Currently at a 9.698 floor. We can see some recent ones sold for 9.97, 9.9. Looking at sewer passes, you can pick up this sewer pass, ranked 709 for 9 ETH. Could technically summon it, go list it up at the floor here, and flip it for some profit.
I don't know if you're really making out with that much there.
Only at 5%, you for sure are. 9 point.
You'd have to sell it for at least 9.5 to break even, so you're like scraping pennies.
Scraping by. But if you want to buy a Reaver, like don't buy the 9.69. Go to the sewer pass and buy this guy.
Is there any cheaper than 9, or is that the cheapest one?
Nah,
how about Celestial? What is
I've
that?
been looking, puppy.
Can you look for a Celestial?
Celestial, that's gonna maybe be a little too hard to find because it's top 4,500. I mean, we can try and do it.
No, you're good, dude. You're good.
No, we're just gonna go all the way up.
Hey, get to work. Find me one of these, will you?
Find me one of these, my boy.
See, we're looking for.
Dude, hollows are just selling like fucking hotcakes right now with companions.
Oh yeah, they just got swooped up.
Must be nice to just have.
Floor still 22 with companions on hollows. So,
but I'm saying if you go, I'm on OpenSea, I know, but like, dude, 39 minutes ago, if this one truly has a companion, I guess I could click on it. Yeah. Dude, someone got this for 2.9 39 minutes ago with a companion.
Yeah. So Bryce and I were searching these. We were searching, cross-referencing listings of the heavy metal boxes. We were going back and looking at their original sewer pass to see if they had a companion trade or not. Because we were going to try and snipe something like that.
There's a few that definitely did. 2.4, 2.4, 2.4, like 47 minutes ago, dude. That is... Damn.
You know who's really down bad right now?
Rick.
The people that bought the tier 4 NA sewer passes that are stuck with like the uber shitty whatchamacallit.
Dude, the absolutely stupidness of it all is that like, oh man, I'm like looking at these hollows and it's like, I want one because I know they're going to be epic, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to pay the premium price so that some MFer that had some pro gamer come in and he paid him, 500 ApeCoin or something stupid to get him a top tier score can walk away with such a big dub. I'm like,
right.
It's painful. It's painful.
All right, everybody stop buying hollows and the floor is bound to go down.
To 0. Then I
don't know, dude. There's only 250 of them.
Shit.
So another one with a companion just got bought for 22. There is one more at 22, then 22 and a half, and then 23, and it just is it's
this
never mind.
Dude is just snapping them up, dude. This cat
is that who's buying it?
Illustrator, yes. Tim.eth. This motherfucker has 88 me bits, 4 bored apes, 10 mutant apes.
It's Illustrator. Dude, we haven't seen him for a minute. Dude, he had a crap load of...
He has 22 of these fuckers, by the way. And
dude, honestly, I know this sounds ridiculous, but like it's almost not a bad idea to follow him into this trade because like I can't think of a time when he's like missed.
He has 4 of these hollows now. That's freaking absurd that he just bought all for 21, almost 22 ETH. Like, what? Dude, who are these people? Can you give me a few ETH?
No, dude, Illustrator's been in the game for a minute. He bought he's got a mega mutant.
Well, now he's got some hollow mofos.
He spent 250 ETH on it 2 years ago.
Jeez, what a legend.
This cat.
Mega jelly.
Yeah, so it looks like the cheapest Celestial Sewer Pass is 4.25, but the Celestial Floor is 4.15, so definitely not a cop. All that work for a shitty result. Thanks a lot, Phil.
You're welcome, dude. Hey, we're learning. We're learning together.
Learning, pulling our inner Zagabond out.
We're learning. Oh,
damn! Would you trade one Bored Ape for 3 hollow boxes?
No.
Illustrator
with companions.
Fuck no. How about that? Okay, how about this? I'll give you another hypothetical. Would you trade a Bored Ape for 1 hollow with companion and like 2 or 3 codas?
What are codas at right now?
I have no clue. That's why I was guessing.
Codas, wow, they've crashed and burned. They're at 14.4.
Okay, so 3 of them.
Yo, what? Oh, never mind.
3 codas and a hollow with a companion.
Oh, dude, I mean, that's a play right there. I mean,
no way, dude. You're doing that?
No, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying that would be one interesting play. Not that is the play.
That is definitely the play. Apparently, I'm just
gonna. Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna roll up and you're gonna buy a hollow, you might as well buy the one with the companion.
Yeah,
you're
for an extra
22 ETH or 23.
So 22.99. Yeah, like, oh my gosh.
You're going
whatever. Well, I do.
Let it rip. Well, gents, what else we got? What else we got? Keep an eye on companions. They are now live. If you're watching this, you can check it out. Did you sell your Moonbird? Anthony says. Y'all have any Moonbirds left?
No, I still
sayonara.
I still have mine.
Yeah, I said sayonara and took all those funds and bought captains.
I was literally laughing at them. I said, "Oh, look, there's some person that's, collecting 600 plus of these Moonbirds at 6.23. Like, I wonder what's going to happen next." And then like the floor just nuked to 4 ETH, and it's like, "Oh, wait, I should have not been stubborn and just unnested and sold that son of a gun and wished it on its way." Because guess what? I actually found out that I really do not care to have the PFP that signifies that I am an art collector. I would much rather just go collect art.
Collect the art. Or have the true PFP that's the art collector, which is punks.
True.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought Will was dumb. We have one of our friends when we were like first getting into NFTs way back when, the very beginning. He's faded Yuga from day one for the most part and was like heavy into proof. And then he sold his last Moonbird. And I was like, if he's selling his Moonbird, you got to get out. And here we are. Will still holding.
Yeah, the one guy who I followed into Moonbirds is out of Moonbirds. So it's just like, oh shit.
My boys, can I show you this really quick for all the fucking idiots that were crying? For any buyers that last purchased any of the NFTs prior to cutoff time, will be sending ETH to the affected wallet, covering the difference between the amount paid and floor. This should be complete within the next 24 hours.
I kind of want to comment at that Lost Poets, dude. You still lose your faith in the team?
Look at orangey.
W company. I mean, that's so true, right? Like,
and look at this guy.
You can stop bitching now. Raffle. So fucking
dude,
true.
But seriously, like, just what did we say at the beginning?
Oh my god!
The beginning of the stream, we said, "Yo, just chill and let them come out with something," because I can guarantee you they're gonna do right. And of course, they did.
Yeah.
God.
And don't worry about bringing that up, Anthony.
Anybody whose name doesn't start with an O gets fully compensated.
Anyone that doesn't have a name that's color, you get compensated back. Orangey, you're out, buddy. Dude, I actually want to find. Damn it, I should have taken all those receipts. I'm really good at taking receipts because I'm a vengeful motherfucker. I should have definitely taken those receipts earlier.
I've got a receipt right here that I could share.
Please share it in our Twitter DMs. I'll go there directly.
Well, I did send it. So if you just enter the last tweet I sent and then go down to Tropo's response and then his reply to Tropo, and then just following that.
Yes.
Just instant. Really lost a ton of respect for them and not sure how much I want to support them.
Dude.
You still feel that way, buddy? Anywho.
Oh, man, I'm a shit stirrer. You shouldn't have sent me this. I'll poke the bear.
Dude, I really want to just quote retweet Yuga underneath that comment and be like, how you feeling now, buckaroo? That's just it's just emotional tweeting at that point. You know, you feel like you got screwed, so then you just take these irrational stances.
Whatever, he's gonna get dunked on. I just dunked on that stupid just never mind. Anyway.
Good stream. I think we have to
great stream.
Anthony, wrap it up as it is.
Ethereum, thanks for coming, everybody. Appreciate y'all being here. Hey, if you haven't yet, follow our YouTube and follow our Twitch for real. Like, that actually makes a difference. Follow us on Twitter as well. You can follow the three of us. It'll be at the bottom of YouTube, the YouTube replay or video of this stream. Say hi. DM us if you have questions, if you have comments, if you have something you want us to talk about. We love that. Honestly, it helps us.
If you have hollow boxes for the cheap,
if you want to just
5 ETH, let me know.
If you want to tip it to Board TV, we'll take it for you.
We will gladly
take it. Oh my god, no, man! All the hollows with companions have been bought.
Fuck.
It's incredible.
You knew this was going to happen, though, right?
Yeah, it's just painful to watch. It's just painful.
I don't have 22 ETH right now. Like,
I swear, I think
I got an ape hit to a blur bed, so I'm currently licking my wound from that loss.
Owie. All right, what else you got? That's it. We out.
That's all I got.
That's all I got.
Hang with us. We got a couple things, updates. If you've ever seen what Mirror does, it's dope website. Where you can actually mint content. We'll be doing that for free, and it'll just kind of take up our weekly updates to another level. So keep your eyes peeled for that. The first one should be good on Friday of this week. So just know that we're trying to do more. We love talking about Yuga. We love talking about Bored Ape. We can't wait to do other side. Second trip's right around the corner. We will stream that day as well. Hopefully they give us more information here in the next week or so to know the time schedule. But I believe that's the 25th, 10 days from today. That sounds right. Exciting. Exciting time.
Wait a sec.
Waiting. God damn. Thanks a lot, Dingaling. Hey, you know what? Fun fact. Dingaling follows me on Twitter. Second fun fact. I won at one point. It was valuable. A really valuable Top Shot moment from Dingaling.
Really?
Damn.
Indeed. It's not valuable anymore, but nonetheless.
Let's do his calculations, because this is what? Oh, this is 5 minutes old. Never mind. I thought maybe it was older. But how many hollows does he? Oh, geez, 9 hollows.
Dude, 101 of the Reveres. Like, okay, maybe I should see if I can trade him my Malik Beasley that I won from him for a Revere.
I mean, he's easily in the money. That's where it freaking sucks, knowing that you could have paid a pro gamer and come out with a massive W. That's just.
Also, I'm like assuming you sell it all tonight. Right, because who knows where Pratt? Well, yeah, we're probably gonna.
You know how comfortable you're in the profit.
Yeah, pretty damn comfy.
I don't think he's gonna get close to not breaking even if they dropped. You know,
that cat just massive dub after massive dub, and that's where it comes. If you have that much liquidity, like. And you deploy that shit.
Dude, also, he took to pay 300 ETH to gamers. What?
Yeah, right. Like, that's wild.
Never in my wildest dreams would I be like, yo, I'm paying a gamer 300.
Let me just slide you a cool $500,000 real quick. Huh?
Oh.
Yeah, and we're like, how the heck did Orangey get, 500 ETH? Well, there's 300 of it right there.
Wow, honestly, I feel like that just kind of goes to show how much it was play to win, which
It was.
Sucks. But
Pay to
it's all
win.
right. I
It
said
does
play,
suck.
didn't I? I meant pay. Yeah,
Pay.
pay to win.
Pay to win.
It does suck, to be honest. But we keep pushing. Like, I'm still happy. I'm not posting dumbass tweets like some mutant ape that will go
I've lost total faith in
Bro,
you.
this is pissing me off, and I'm gonna say it real quick. So he quote retweeted their little thing and said, "Not gonna lie, if this is done smoothly, I will say this is a great move."
Oh, sorry. You didn't want the.
I did not want the spotlight. No, if done smoothly, I will say this is a great move by Yuga Labs. We'll wait to see how it plays out. If done smoothly, bro, like you're gonna get your refund, and if you don't, you bought it after the tweet. In which case, it's your fucking fault. GG.
Like,
all right, rant over. Good night.
Yeah, we gotta get off here before we start dropping too much spice because I'm feeling extra spicy.
Claws are coming out.
I got. Let's go. I'm firing away, baby. But again, check out Companions. Do what Dingling and what's his name Illustrator does. If you got a few million hanging around in ETH, just fire away. Just keep firing away. Massive dubs. Yuga Maxi. If you're in doubt, just buy something Yuga related. If you ever think, what should I spend this free Ethon or this, when I say free, I mean like this liquid Ethon.
Keep coin.
Just anything Yuga. Anything Yuga.
Coin.
Anything
my
Yuga.
Bags.
Yeah, buy all my bags. Thank you.
Then I want you to dump them to me at a cheaper price and then rebuy my bags at a higher price.
True. Yes. That is the King's Alpha.
But
yeah, let me just turn that wheel a little bit.
It was a great stream. Let's get out of here. The summoning was dope. Check out the power sources. Check out our videos. Again, retweet, quote, tweet, share the video. We love it. We love the support. It's Phil. It's Bryce. It's Will. And we out of here.
Peace.